Right then, have you made a cup of tea? Good. Settle in. I'm going to tell you a story about ghosts. Not the shrieking, chain rattling sort, though heaven knows this heat could make anyone see them. No, I am talking about the ghosts of places, of stones that have heard 1,000 prayers, now drowning in the sound of heavy trucks. We are, I am afraid, talking about progress, the fading grandeur of Isaan. Imagine a future where Thailand's ancient spiritual heartland is nothing but a memory, paved over for progress. We are talking about Isaan's forgotten temples, buried beneath the very infrastructure meant to uplift the nation. Is this the price of modernization or a tragic erasure of identity? Look at this landscape. To the hurried eye, just rice and dust. However, under that tamarind tree, a broken cheddy, now home to a family of lizards. By that petrol station, a laterite boundary stone, now used by motorbike taxis to lean on. Isaan is an old, old book. We are tearing out the pages to light the barbecue. I came here for the quiet. What I found was a quiet tragedy. The grand narratives of Thai history often bypasses the northeast. Its temples were not built for kings in glittering Bangkok, but for villages, for the harvest, for the spirits of the land. Now they are just disappearing. Not with a bang, but with a bureaucratic whir of a digger's engine. Development's double-edged sword. Now, do not get me wrong, I am not some romantic fool who thinks everyone should live in a thatched hut without Wi-Fi. Goodness, no. The new road did cut my trip to Udon from a bone-rattling 3 hours to a smooth 70 minutes. I can get a decent curry paste in the supermarket. The dam does provide electricity. These are not small things, they mean jobs, hospitals, education, a better life. That is the gleaming blade of the sword. Nevertheless, here is the other edge. That lovely new 4-lane highway. It did not just slice through farmland, it went straight through the compound of a temple near Khon Kaen. One day, monks were chanting in a centuries-old sala. The next, it was a concrete minion strip. The official line, delivered with a bland smile of provincial pamphlet, progress, advancement, necessary sacrifice for the greater good. It's the same story with the reservoirs. The Sindrahorn Dam created a lovely lake. It also permanently submerged the temple, leaving only the very tip of its spire peeking out in the dry season, like a drowning man's last gasp. On top of that, the industrial zones. They promise prosperity. What they deliver, along with factories, is a kind of spiritual pollution. The Eastern Economic Corridor, the EEC, spilling into Isaan does not just claim land, it alters the very Thai spirits of the place. You cannot pour chemical runoff into a stream and expect the spirit of the water to stick around for blessings. Voices from the dust. I spoke to an old farmer, Manok, near Royet. His village temple was due to be adjusted for road widening. It's like moving your grandfather's grave so you can park your car, he said, spitting beetle nut juice into the dust. The bricks are just the house, the memory, the merit, the heart that stays in the ground. The community tried. They gathered signatures, offered to maintain the site themselves. However, what is a village headman against the national infrastructure budget? It is like bringing a spoon to a bulldozer fight. Then there was a beautiful little library in Sakon Nahung, carved with scenes from the Ramekin. Not grand, but perfect. They relocated it for a new administrative building. They took the stones, numbered them meticulously, and rebuilt it 50 metres away. It looks correct. Nevertheless, as the abbot told me, the shadow falls wrong now. The morning light does not touch the Buddha's face the same way. The building is here, but the place is lost. The genius of these old sites was not just in the construction, but also in the siting, aligned with stars, water sources, and ley lines we have forgotten how to see. The irreversible cost. So, what are we really losing? It is more than just pretty old buildings. It is the unique strand of architecture Khmer influenced laterite built lower and earth-hugging than the gilded temples of the centre. It is the loss of local history. These walls held the story of the village, not the kingdom. When they go, the anchor for that community's identity drags loose. Then there is the intangible cost, the erosion of quiet, of contemplation. A temple is not a museum. It is a living space for meditation, for festival gatherings, and for the daily alms round. Shift it, shrink it, surround it with the stench of diesel and the blare of horns, and you have not just moved a building, you have fractured a rhythm of life that is sustained people for generations. You trade community for commute. Which brings us to a rather uncomfortable question. What is the true invoice for this progress? A few points on a GDP chart? A faster delivery time for my online shopping? Is that a fair swap for 1,000 years of whispered prayers? We are brilliant at calculating economic cost-benefit analysis. We are woefully, tragically inept at calculating soul. Now, before you think I'm just a doom-monger in a linen suit sweating elegantly, there are glimmers of hope. Not huge ones, mind you. This is not a Hollywood ending. There are local historians, often school teachers, who meticulously document every stone. There are monk activists who chain themselves to ancient Buddha trees. There is a splendidly stubborn group in Buriram who have turned their threatened temple ground into a community garden and learning centre, forcing the developers to talk around them. Besides, you, sitting there with your tea going cold, you can help. Look, next time you are in Isaan, do not just whiz from big city to big city. Take the small road. Stop at the unmarked, crumbling Wat. Talk to the old folk. Listen. Record a story. Take a photograph. Share it. Ask. Question the glossy brochures about New Isaan. Wonder what was there before the shiny thing was ever built. We cannot stop the world, nor should we. Nevertheless, we must not let it turn without a record of what it is grinding beneath its wheels. The true cost of development is not measured in baht. It is measured in what we agree to forget. So let us be a little more stubborn. Let us be the annoying pebble in the shoe of progress that says, wait, just remember this. Otherwise, all we are building is a very efficient road to a destination called nowhere. Besides, frankly, I hear the traffic there is dreadful. Right, your turn. In the comments below, tell me about a forgotten place you know. A corner shop replaced by a chain, a wood paved over for a car park. Let us make a nuisance of ourselves by remembering. To top it off, do please hit the like button and do subscribe for more uncomfortable, chatty ruminations from the rice fields. Take care and goodbye.